inspection sheet should I be looking for, guys, to help? Like in the inspections, did you refer to any inspections in here? Which inspection sheet do you think I should be opening?
Actually, Carl, we haven't just go through the 13 Collie row because yesterday we just went through another property actually. But
okay.
Yeah,
cool,
we are fine. Maybe we can open now because I can see some inspections here and we can see they have some like fail ones.
Yeah, so that's one there. Perfect.
Yeah, they have a cladding.
Well, I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy. I don't want to freak you out. Let's go to the. We also. So what I do. So you're watching this. I'm going to duplicate that. All right, and then for another purpose, I can pin that. So I've always got it open, and I will pin that. So I've always got it open. So if you guys do use Collie, then that I will do it and I'll upload that. But if you use the one that you already feel confidence with, let's do that. So to go to another one, I just go to the button here called search.
Yep.
And then what's the address?
68.
Yeah.
Sicilian Lane.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So how do you spell it? Yes.
S-I.
S-I.
C-I.
C-I.
I.
Sicilian. Sicilian.
Yes. Sicilian.
Yes.
Sorry.
Italian.
My pronunciation.
Like that. Sicilian, like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. So, Sicilian. Oh, Lake Hayes.
Yes,
mate.
Lake Hayes.
Gorgeous place.
Yeah,
Dude.
gorgeous. Actually, we just found it in the Trimmy property and the really brilliant property. And so we just want to have a look.
Yeah.
And we finally chose this one.
So you can see you've got 2 consents.
Yep.
BC and BC. So one is new dwelling, not covered, stage 1, basement, mid-floor. So that's the mid-floor and the new dwelling basement. So that's that here, everybody, if you're looking, is an exact expression of what I discussed before. When you're getting some of these big projects, they split them up into stages. So you'll have a different consent for each, right? It's just easier to manage. So that's what that is. So which one do you want me to press on, bud? This one?
Yeah, we have looked the both of them, and actually this is a really good project, and the builder really done a really good job because only one fail.
Oh wow.
Yeah, only one fail. So if you look through the BC 171514, which is the first one, actually all pass. And some of them just like partial pass, just because they just have done the work until that stage. So that is the partial pass. So let's look at the second BC, and there is only one fail, which is the final residential. And we have looked through this one, and so everywhere, every step, they have done really good job. And what we found out is that, health and safety is really the important part you need to look through, because I think the designer didn't think enough about the health and safety. So this failed just because of, let me have a look, sorry. This failed just because that they didn't think about the barriers of the rooftop, and just because they have like 3 stairs, but there's no handrail for that. So very kind of like very easy things, but finally just caused the fail. And just the Ruvani just found out that it's actually because of the F4 AS1, the safety from falling, areas outside the building, as stated on the building code. So this is why the reason that they just failed the final. And we can, so what we have learned from this is that even though very little parts of the building consent, it is still important as it affects the people's health and safety in the property.
And there's another really interesting point here, and that is that so I don't know, so like I come to the top of this, right?
Yep.
There's no, it's sort of a bit, it's not a real true expression of what the house looks like, but I would suggest to you,
Yep.
if you're dealing with a house that looks over Lake Hayes, you're dealing with, let's have a look. So this is a structural engineer design here. I'm just wondering, the quality or the expectation of the client is that, and I've had this time and time again, especially for F4. So there's F4 there, the building code. I don't want a handrail, or I don't want to block the view.
Yeah, true.
So,
because this is
yep.
the fully just the view of the Lake Hayes.
Yes. So from that, so okay. So when you're looking, so are we talking about this view through here? Like there, is that the, or is it this drop? I wonder if that's what.
That's what it's showing.
Right. So this one here.
Yes,
so I bet. So if I go back to here and go, so you said, where are we? So in the inspection, and if I go to the final fail, it's going to show me a picture of the fail.
Yes.
Cool. We'll get to look at the view. Because Nikki and I rode around this on our bike. It was so cool. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, it's a better look at it, eh? So, are you saying that they wanted to try and not have a barrier there or something, or was it wasn't big enough or something?
Yep.
Oh, here we go. Gorgeous. Oh, yeah, far out. That's interesting, isn't it? Right. Oh, here.
Yeah, just this area. Yep.
Yeah, and see, it doesn't look like you even walk on it though, do you? How do you? Oh, through here. Yeah, right. Oh, so interesting. Fancy not. I suppose, is that one of those roofs that, like,
it looks like a bridge.
Grow grass on it or something? Hey, great. It's stones or something, eh? That's so interesting.
And also, yeah, the stairs on the next photo.
Oh, here?
Yeah, here.
Yeah. Yeah. There'd be quite a fall, wouldn't there, from there? Yeah. And again, I can guarantee it. If they can get away with you not signing it off, that's okay. See, the guy's forced into a corner because he has to take the photos. So, and there's probably a measure of, I don't know, oh, you're a really good builder and I don't want to make you mad, and this is a really gorgeous house. I love this, but I'm really going to have to actually fail this because as much as, well, that's how I act. It is a gorgeous house, but I have no choice but to take those photos. And if I take those photos and it shows there's possible falling of more than 2 meters or whatever, or a meter, then I have to fail it. And the sort of client, oh yeah, there's a good example of a restrictor stay. The little rabbit there just about to jump out the window. So that, is it? Yeah, is it a door? There's a window catch, but it is a restrictor stay, eh? Window is restricted. We're opening onto a deleted deck. Ah, right. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, and then this area is the roof is easily accessed, and a barrier needs to be installed. There is a danger of significant. Yes, there is. Now look at that. That there, that's like commercial grade heating. It's like, look at this. This type of stuff here is way more than normal. That probably because it is Queenstown, but that's a lot of work in that, mate. It's boiler, okay. Swimming pool. Nice. Okay. And interesting to see the stairs. So you can see you're not allowed anything more than 100 millimeters in the gap. So and that is, it's the same principle as the window. It's about little Johnny's head and little Johnny putting his head through the gap of those. So they come up with a international standard that no gap anywhere here is more than 100 millimeters. And so that when you look at that, I mean, it's just gorgeous. Looks like the steel coming down, steel coming along here, and then they've planted timber on top of it. And that's the stairs coming up. That's pretty cool, eh? Right. It's a steel bent. It's not timber. Steel bent up on an angle. That is, don't know whether I'd like that. Gee. Anyway, that's personal. I don't know about you guys. Probably be really easy to clean, but that's interesting, isn't it?
A mix or fusion of industrial stuff.
Yes, it is. And then how do they mount it in here? Do they mount it up underneath? Is that a concrete wall and they bolt it up?
Yeah,
anyway,
I bet that concrete wall.
Yeah, fascinating. That's pretty cool, eh? Yep. Yeah. So this is this is not a simple house, but I don't have any issues with you as a group. If you want to use this place, it's fine. The issue would be, what's the quality, the date of this? 2023.
They started the work from 2017 and they finished in 2023. So very long period, actually.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Fascinating. And associated consents. Look at that. So resource consent, resource consent, resource consent, resource consent. Amazing. Wow. Yeah, so I'll try. So that's 68 Sicilian Lake Hayes. So, sorry, you're group 1A.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I'll come over here and I'll change that. Rename. Nice. Is there anything else you wanted to add to that? So are you thinking that is the building inspector a bit like me, that he's a bit overwhelmed by the quality of the build and so they got a fairly easy run, do you think? Or is it the way it's been built? Because I see a lot of concrete tilt-up slab. So if, for example, that was, let's go back to this job. So that's the Collie Road, right? So a lot of the build on Collie Road is conventional construction, and it's a 3604 design. It's got all of this simple, the bracing details and everything like that. Whereas if I go to this job, it looks to me like it is. So everything is special engineered design. So we're looking at this here. If you look at get rid of that there. Civil engineering, structural engineering, Dunedin. So you're looking at structural engineering design details. So this build has a high percentage. It's almost a commercial building. This is like a.
Excuse me, Carl. What if we change it back to the one that you've given? Is it okay with you all?
Oh, I mean, this would be easy.
Yeah.
This would be
I
easier
agree.
for you.
I
This
agree.
would be easier.
Yeah.
I
Let's choose the easier
this.
one.
Yeah.
But I'm concerned that when we start, so we know we talk about this concept called the compliance pathway, right? What is the compliance? So what, in simple terms, B1, we all know what B1 is structure. Okay. So B1 structure, so it's B1 AS1 when it comes to this job, and that's NZS 3604. All right. But when you come to this job, it's B1 VM1 special engineered design. And you don't necessarily have to know all the dirty detail of how it all works because you're not paid to do that. No one is, other than the engineers. But it's a lot more involved, and it would just be unfair on you, I think. That would be, so if it was a simpler build, I think I'd be happy. So that, like what you're looking at there, that 75 by 6 SHS post, that's a steel post. You can't get that in 3604. This is a steel truss design. So it's totally out of, yeah. So anyway, my suggestion is that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we will go for
Okay.
the 13 Collie
13 Collie Road.
String. Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
great.
All right. I'll change the wording back on my thing here, on my group one, but that's all right.
Sorry for
No
that,
problem.
Carl.
That's okay. Is there anything else anybody in the class wanted to bring up that you've seen there that you thought was unusual? Gorgeous, though. What is that? The laundry, mate? Sheesh. Laundry and scullery. Okay. Does anybody know what a scullery is? I know you would. A scullery. A lot of families have sculleries, so it's a second kitchen, really, or a wet kitchen. So yeah, that's what that is. But yeah.
What do you call kitchenette?
What?
Kitchenette.
Kitchenette. No, scullery is more of a full kitchen, but it's hidden behind another kitchen. So you've got the main kitchen, and then you'll have a scullery which is sitting inside. So I don't know whether this guy had a scullery. Sometimes GJ Gardner started playing that game.
Yeah, more popular to a little bit mid to high end luxury homes.
Yeah.
And in particular, apply to Chinese family.
Yeah.
Who's cooking lots of deep fry or smoky.
Yeah, and that's why I call it the wet kitchen. Yeah. So there's
Hey,
the kitchen.
if like my home, I have three
Yep.
kitchen. How do you call the third kitchen?
Oh, what? I've got a story. So I would call the third kitchen a cafe bar.
Cafe bar.
Because I went to this inspection in Papakura once, and it was a big house like what you're looking at on the screen, but it was 2 stories high, and it had a kitchen, and then it had a wet kitchen, which was locked through the other door, and then upstairs they had another kitchen. They called it the cafe bar. But in the actual fact, we had 3 families living in that house. 3 separate families. So they're earning probably $1,500 to $2,000 a week in rent for the house, which you could normally only get about, say, $750 a week for. But council
That's
just
huge.
Yeah, I know, it's shocking, eh? But at the same time, at that time, so it was Porchester Road. At that time, people were living in cars in the park, in Bruce Pullman Park in Takanini. And so sort of the council, that I worked for would turn a blind eye to, the fact that people were, building these buildings So I think it was that place right there. So if I go there. So this one here. So you go inside the house. It's either that one or one of the ones similar anyway. Yeah, it is. Yep. So you see how you got another entrance way around the back here, and you got another, and you've got. So I walked in to do the final on this place. Never been there before. So yeah, it's got upstairs. It's got a cafe, a kitchen. So it's got a kitchen upstairs. You had a kitchen in the front, so there's rooms in the front, and then you come around the back here, and you had all of this up top. So it's a secondary dwelling, and then there's another dwelling in the back there. But all actually technically one house, this one here. And it was, I'm trying to think of the company. They were doing it out of Howick, and they're still in business now. They basically they would go and get investors to lend money to build those houses, and then they would sell the houses with and build the buildings and with the rental relationships and agreements on as a package to the market. But yeah, that's where I've come across that before. Quite interesting. Cool. All right. So I will leave. I won't load that up. I'll just change that again back to 13 collie. Just give me a second, team, so I don't forget. Nice. Okay. So some of you, I don't know whether any of you heard. So you can see the screen. What I'm doing is putting in here, rather than you going into eDocs, I'm going to have all of the files and everything you need in here under your group. So as students, you're going to have to do authentic work experience, and hopefully maybe next week we'll start doing that. And we'll teach you how to do the vetting on these consents. Each one of you, so like your group 1, for example, you might be 3 or 4 of you in that group. You will have 13 Collie Road, but your building consent number will be different under Alpha, right? So you'll be doing the same consent, but you'll have a same consent in eDocs, but when you start with it, you'll be creating a new consent. So each one of you will have an individual consent for your job. So each group, so whoever did 54 Howden Drive, 3 or 4 of you are doing that, same principle. All right, you will be come into here and have a read of the plans and stuff like that, and it's easier for you to do that than race backwards and forwards between eDocs. And if I don't have all the information in there, you can just basically go into eDocs to find it. Sorry, I got my shoes stuck under here. I'll just get them. Yeah. Right. Now we've got, so what's the next one? Who did, so I think we did, so who's done Howden Drive? Which group forwarded Howden Drive? Anybody?
My one is 88 from yesterday.
Oh yeah, 88 Howden.
Yeah.
And who was with you?
Oh.
You do it all by yourself.
I can't remember.
Yeah, me.
Okay, me.
Jiawang.
Jiawang.
Yeah.
Jiawang. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you want me to go to? So I'll get rid of that one there, and I get rid of that one there. but let's go to, I go to search on the screen, and then we go to the property, and you said 88 Howden, Howden, is that correct? Yep, there it is there. Cool, just go, and I will pin that. Okay, now let's go and have a look. So you press on that button there, then we go to the Issued tab, we find the plans. Now, I'll just go back while that's loading. When it comes to the actual application, so you aren't, no problems, you're not going to have to worry about this because I'm going to do it for you. You can see this thing here called a CS19R. So if I open that up, I should be, it either is the check sheet. So this is the thing, all right, application processing check sheet. So this is a good document. So this is probably one that I'm going to leave for you guys that's going to sit in the in the files. So it's got a check sheet that goes through and gives you evidence of all of the things that need to be checked. So that's called the CS19R, right? So and that's why it's really important to get a consent that's fairly new, because these numbers all relate when the council do this. So this one, so that's the check sheet. There's the BC application. That's what the customers sent to us when they've done that. But then they've got this CS 4.1. So that is what I think it's the vetting checklist. So let's just have a look. Yep, application checking sheet. So this is the processing check sheet, but this one here is the check sheet for when it comes to the council. So this is actually, so what you're looking at is what you guys would be doing for a job, and you will be doing 6 of these for one of your assessments on someone consents. But don't worry, you're really only physically going to be doing about 2 to 3 of them, because as a class we're going to go through this. But what happens is, so this person here, KM, they're probably that person is the vetting staff member. Has they paid their bill? Has the invoice been sent? Did the Form 2 application get completed fully? Yep. And then they see, and then they check that it's signed. Description of the work altered or anything. Description of building work in Tech 1. So Tech 1 would be probably their alpha program that they use. They call it Tech 1. So don't freak out about that. That's just the same, right? If required, altered or standard wording. Proof of ownership. So that's normally a title. A letter from the owner appointing the agent. So what that means really is that whatever this house is, and if I open the plans up, it is Build 7. All right. So Build 7 is the construction company. So in this situation, the owner of this property has signed a document over to the agent, which says the agent, which happens to be Build 7, they will receive all the billing, they will receive all the emailing, they will receive everything that's required basically to do the consent. All right, so that's what that is. So, and it just, have they provided an LBP certificate of work, certificate of design work, designer, and they've got the name of the guy there, and there's LBP number. is there any producer statement calculations? Yes, and that's probably the truss manufacturer. Remember, it's a simple house. Any wastewater disposal, only probably for a rural situation, so that's a no. And then there's this selected in Tech 1, again, selected in Alpha, building category selected correctly. Building regulations, Tech 1, is that you got the right classified use? Is the building that you're working on being allocated the right, within the right, is it a carport? Is it an industrial building? Is it a garage? Or no, it's a house, a small house. So have they done that correctly? Right. And then I am satisfied that the building consent document receives compliance with Section 45 of the Building Act. So the girl's name's called Hope Piper, and she did it on the October the 2021. And interesting, you notice here, I am satisfied that the building consent application documentation received demonstrates compliance with Section 45 of the Building Act. It doesn't say I am satisfied on reasonable grounds, right? Satisfied on reasonable grounds is more of a word. So if I go to here and let's go to the post approval, and let's go to that one. So let's go CCC issued, all right? Sorry, I'll get to you, group, in a second. So this is the Form 7. Okay, so this is the certificate after all of the paperwork has been resolved, all right? And then we come to the bottom and you go to this here. The building consent named below is that he is satisfied on reasonable grounds that the building work complies. So this is Amanda Peters. She's the building officer. So you notice the subtle word difference between how it says that they're satisfied that building consent application demonstrates compliance with the Building Act. That's Hope. And then this one here, that satisfied on reasonable grounds that the building work complies with the building consent. So it's the fact that this person here is a building officer, within Regulation 18, you're either a processor, a building inspector, or a CCC assessor, right? So it's just a wording, but more than likely she's a processor, and she's satisfied on reasonable grounds because she's got Regulation 18 or a pathway towards it, whereas Hope, just like you guys, are just someone who assesses the documentation but doesn't have necessarily the depth of qualification. And interesting here, it's noting the building controls support completion by Vicky. So it seems like Vicky is the building consent officer who's just kept an eye on Hope to make sure that everything's done correctly, right? So there's a nice flow. So yeah, okay. Now where am I? Plans. I will go to pin. Okay, so what would you like me to look at from the perspective of inspections, Team Howden? In the inspection tab, are you looking, what one did you have issues with, or did you find? Vijay?
They got the street inspection fail.
Oh yeah. So which building inspection on the screen I'm looking at? What one do I open up, sir?
Piece lab reinforcing, but their street fail
Oh, there
in
is
different
two.
day.
Oh, different day. Exactly. So which one do you want me to open up first?
Maybe the first one.
Okay. And is that something I find that unusual? Are you telling me that they went back 3 times to try and get this thing resolved?
Yeah, they did some minor variation for the snap, and they got failed.
Oh, wow. No, a minor variation for change to site boundary lines not yet approved. Minor variation 2 application appears to be a duplicate of minor variation 1. Right. Building consent conditions relevant to this inspection set out. A registered surveyor shall provide verification. Yes. A registered surveyor has not provided verification certifying. Okay, a minor variation regarding the change to site boundary lines has not yet been approved. Okay, so this is a picture of the, let's go to plans, let's have a look. Well, it's a simple house, isn't it? Nice little house. So that, all right, so we're talking, is the house a little bit too close or something to the boundary? Is that what the problem was, or is it just the simple fact that there was no site survey certificate available? Any comment?
I opened those 3 failed inspection. They all have same common. They don't have the surveyor certificate.
Yep. Okay, so 1 meter and 5 there, and 1 meter, right. 1 meter and 5 and 1 meter and 5. So, so they did have this. Sorry, they did have the
minor variation for the snap.
Yeah. Is there any evidence? Like, let's go back to here. So you'd see down here in the
minor
post.
Variation.
No, in the post. Yeah, in the minor variation. Okay, so let's have a look there. 5. Minor variation 5 approved. Approved. So also, while we're on the screen here, see that word Coro in and Coro out? What that means is correspondence out, correspondence in. One of the assessments that we're doing asks you as a student to be able to find some information in relation to a correspondence conversation. So just something in here might be a great one for you guys. But let's have a look. CCC docs. So a normal process is that you'd be looking for 15 documents here. Okay, you'd be looking for a site survey certificate fairly early in the piece, because you are 1 meter and 5 millimeters. I don't think Bronnie's wrong. I think it's appropriate that she asked the question. So here it is here. So Patterson Pitts Group, dated the 17th of February 2022, and let's have a look. Set out, the registered surveyor shall provide verification. As of the 28th of January, I hereby certify that the Patterson Pitts Group has set out the building and site in accordance with the plans and submitted to as a minor variation. Okay, documentation. So let's have a look. So the other interesting thing is when you look at these plans, so you can see what some of our CCC staff would say is that they would not accept that unless they put some sort of evidence like the proposed floor, like, and the look of that. So that's drawn there. All you've got really is a piece of paper that essentially, that's not really a regulated document that you're looking at. That's just, and there's no actual evidence of it's the plans are deemed to be 175.5 square meters, and it's deemed to be the datum of 351.500 as measured off this datum here. So that's the height in relation there, and that my guy at Auckland Council would throw this back at the customer and say, I want you to put it's not good enough to go as in accordance with the plans submitted as a minor variation. No, because obviously he's not reading the plans. He's just doing what he's told he has to do. He needs to put the datum of 351-500 on here as evidence, and then more than likely, because this one and that minor variation has a relationship to this issue here, which is the 1 meter and 5 off each boundary. So my experience has been that they would be writing that in here, or they'd be giving us, now maybe there's a picture, maybe I'm wrong. I'll just have a look. LBP records. Here we go. Perfect. So that's not even the right one, mate. This is the drainlays one, but you can see it's got the 1 meter and 5, 1 meter and 5. But I'd much prefer to have that drawn and given to me, because this is the architect that's done this. But where's the certifiers? Sorry, the surveyor's document that basically shows and on his letterhead. Anyway, interesting. So is that the only fails, guys, or what's the other ones? Is there something else that showed interest to you?
That's the only thing he failed.
Okay. Interesting. Cool. Nice. Any other comments from your group?
So is it not good to do minor variation for the snap?
No. It's not that it's not very good. It's like, no, it's if I don't understand what Bronny is getting at, because why do you need a minor variation? Has there been a change? Was there a change in the way the plan, why have we got a minor variation? You're normally going to get a certificate anyway, aren't you? You're always going to maybe they refuse to pay for a surveyor, and so Bronny, being Bronny, she's quite aggressive. She would have demanded it, whereas maybe because it's, see that 1 meter and 5 and 1 meter and 5, I think I'd probably agree with her. I can't prove that that's, if there's a string line from here to here and measuring across that building to the string line, am I exactly 1 meter and 5? And that's the point. Maybe Build 7 were trying to save money and not, and GJ Gardners are good at this as well. They don't want to spend any more money than they have to. So maybe that's what went on, is the reason it was I don't know why it's a minor variation. because that's just silly. Just all you got to say is go and get the surveyor, please, and then fail the job. So I don't know. I don't know, actually. And we can't ask her because she doesn't work for council anymore. So, yeah. No, cool. So, yeah, normally it's just, especially in Auckland, it's just automatic that you would get a surveyor just because of the risk. Okay, thank you, team. Right. Now, yep. So that's group 2, yep. Now, did anybody do 54 Howden? Is there any group that did 54 Howden Drive? No? Did anybody do 22 Cheviot Street? Okay. So it seems like, so yeah, I'm with the amount of people that are online, there's 19 people online. So some of you guys went into rooms yesterday, but maybe you weren't there. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay. All right, I think what I might do is I will start now. I will start doing the authentic work experience, and I'll do it through my job, a job that I'm about to do, and then we will record. So it's being recorded. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the recording right now.